Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
All right.
Let's
It's
do
all
it.
right. Yep, just waiting on the things to catch up. Well, actually, hold on.
I wonder if I should zoom in a little bit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honey Badger Radio. My name is Brian. I'm here with Allison, and this is Maintaining Frame. I probably should have made it a dating show now that I think about it, but it's okay.
Oh,
Maintaining
boy.
Frame number 123, Why You Are Hopeless with Women. And you will never find peace. Actually, that seems like an oxymoron. You'll probably find peace if you don't find any women.
Yeah, I was about to say, you might find women, but you probably will have to give up peace, especially with the women that you will
You
attract.
can't have both. It's one or the other.
Admittedly, I haven't watched this, so maybe her thesis is profound and nuanced.
Well, I've watched it twice, so because I had to. I won't say anything because I think that that ruins, that sort of kills the point of watching the video.
No spoilers.
So
no spoilers.
no spoilers.
I'm going to go
No
into
spoilers.
this, and it's going to be just raw.
So was this like a request from a patron?
Yes, this was a request. This is yet again another request from Richard Bier, but at least this time it's different. You know,
only slightly, but yeah,
it's a different nugget.
It's a different flavor of self-entitled egomaniac Asian woman. It's not Manifestel, it's a different one, but if you peel the skin off, it's basically V. It's the same thing. So
it's like really specific. Okay.
Well,
all right. So if any point throughout the show, and please do, because we really appreciate it. We like your commentary. We like your tips. You know, it's all good. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip to send a comment. Very best way to send us whatever, small amount of funds you want to send us, or large, I guess. I don't want to say you can't do that. And send us a comment that doesn't go through YouTube's comment enhancement system, which, it's even more than the censorship. It can just be a really awkward kind of, interface. So these comments go directly to us. They go into our community at badgernation.online. And so everybody who's involved in this can take a look and see what you have to say. So once again, feedthebadger.com/justthetip. I don't know if that's a selling point. Is that a selling point? Is it like
what I mean that they can give us more of the amount, I think, is a selling point, because maybe they don't want to give money to Google. I mean, it's like the most evil company in the world, probably, maybe right after Amazon. And well, there's that. And also they might want to do more long-winded comments.
Yeah.
Because
true.
YouTube has a character limit for super chats.
We do as well. Our character limit is
but it's just a lot more.
Bigger.
You can't put
You could probably put a small short story.
You could fit the Green New Deal in there. I'll put it that way, which is a very short document, but
okay, but yeah, so that's it. You get a little more space to talk to us. You also get your comment does stay in our community. So if people have comment on your comment, there's commentception going on there. So there's lots of benefits. So feedthebadger.com/justthetip to send us those comments. And if you'd like to support the show for the month, it's at feedthebadger.com/support. I know I haven't really done any arm twisting and chilling lately. But everything does really help, and every bit is appreciated. And you're here. We're here because you guys have supported us in continuing to do this work, which is attempting to break the dam of censorship through sheer bloody-minded volume. Okay. Speaking of which, let's get on to it.
Sure. So this is a video from a YouTube channel called Everything with Eve. And she is going to explain why some of you are hopeless with women. So let's go ahead. I just jumped in. We're going to play her little intro, and then I have some places I can jump to. So here we go.
Hey guys, welcome to another podcast episode. This one today is inspired by all the videos.
What? We haven't even started yet.
No, she's ruining her accent. You don't
She's
deserve
Australian.
that accent.
She's got she's an Australian, yeah. So like we've been to Australia. There's a lot of
Australia's really nice.
It is, and there's a lot of Asian people that live there. A lot.
I'm just saying.
If you've ever been, and it's not surprising because like Korea, South Korea, and Japan are very close by. So.
Okay. All right, I'm done.
All right, let's continue.
Videos I've been recommended on YouTube lately. I'm not going to name any specific channels, but I'm
going to go back and just look at the channels that she's talking about because this is like the impetus for her video.
Channels.
Okay, yeah, lovely little.
Okay, so these are all men in their car videos, and they have titles like "Women Don't Want Me," "I'm a Reject to Every Woman," "Why Is It So Hard to Get a Girlfriend?" And I guess there's more there. And "I'm 27 and never had a girlfriend." Okay. So we got men. These are all men. I think they're all men. I think the one in the middle is a man too. It's just, a little bit of a fairer in the features. And they're all essentially like, you know what they're doing? They're doing exactly what feminists always say men should do. They are expressing their emotions so that they don't end up exploding like a bomb and killing women, because that's what men do if they don't express their emotions. So they're doing that. And just so you know, she's gonna expose them.
Expose them for having emotion.
For having emotions, yes, which you should never do. Okay.
Feelings.
Filming videos and being very vulnerable, talking about how it's very hard to get a girlfriend, or maybe they're in their late 20s, 30s, and they've never been in a relationship or never slept with anybody. And I love it. I absolutely love the dialogue that this conversation sparks. It's amazing. So I'm going to join in.
What?
And as a woman, I'm going to give my take today.
Do you want to hear this?
All right. So she loves the fact that men are being vulnerable. I feel like I'm being set up here. I'm being sucked in somehow. Am I being sucked in? Is this?
I'm not going to say anything. Let's just let her. Let's just let her go. Okay, let her cook, Allison.
Okay, I'll let her cook. All right.
Let her cook.
Let's do it.
And my take is going to be as blunt and honest as it gets on my end. And people can disagree with me. I totally respect that. I'm just giving you a point of view, just adding to the conversation here. So first of all, I'm going to go in strong, and I'm going to ask you guys, why the fuck would a woman date you? Why? Why should we? This is the problem, okay, with people who are undateable.
Let's listen to a little bit more of this.
Wait. I can't really make a comment until I actually hear the men. Why are we hearing her first?
It doesn't matter. She's adding to that. I don't know. I mean, what do you want the men to say? They're not attractive to women.
Did she actually their show? No, this is the beginning.
No,
so she hasn't actually shown. So she preloads this with her shitty opinion. Okay.
I've watched the whole video. There are no clips.
There are no clips. So she doesn't even show.
It's just her talking. Yes.
So
we don't know what these men actually said.
Well, what are we supposed to go on here, lady? You're like, well, there's this subset of men who have said things. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what.
Well, we saw them. We saw what they look like on the thumbnails.
Okay.
She shared the thumbnails. Did you not look at them?
Oh, I wasn't there. I was actually trying to open up the vertical to make sure that I don't freeze, because I'm like, trying to monitor things too. Go back to the thumbnail. I'll take a look.
Okay.
I
I'll
love
sit
it.
there.
I absolutely love the dialogue that this conversation sparks. It's amazing. So I'm going to name any specific channels.
You know what she loves is the fact
There.
that she's going to hurt people. This
Yeah.
woman is despicable. I'm 27 and haven't had a girlfriend. Women don't want me. I'm a reject to every woman. Okay. Okay, well, let's go with the blunt thing. Let's go. Let's see if she has any insight aside from why would women want you? Like, I mean, yes, they're average looking dudes. None of them is a model.
They are average looking dudes. Yes, that is true.
Would a woman date
There are
you?
a lot of average looking women.
Why?
Yeah.
Why should we? This is the problem, okay, with people who are undateable. It could be a man or a woman, but the point is they are not thinking about what the other person wants. All of us have a lot of shit going on in our lives. We have a lot on our plates. You know, we're all striving to be the best because we know that life is hard. Society is tough. It always has been.
About their own problems. Like, I mean, these guys, they're undateable. They feel like they're non-people, but have they considered my problems?
There's a real irony.
Oh God damn, this could be fun, isn't it?
There's a real irony in her thesis in a way, because remember, she started off saying, why aren't you guys thinking about what the other person wants? Okay. Mm-hmm. So apparently that's part of the problem, is that these men, they're not thinking about what a potential partner is looking for, I guess, is like how I would, if I were to simplify it. Okay, so let's keep going.
Okay, society has always favored the people who are successful. And in conventional terms, that means...
Yes.
But if they know that they're rejected, then they at least have some idea of what the other person doesn't want, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, they know what they don't want, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe you know, she doesn't really go into it, but if I'm going to try to understand the position of these men, it may be that they are not getting a clear idea of what they should be doing because they're not being told. They don't know. You know, so like maybe it's like, or they have like a distorted idea about themselves. Like this is one of the things that a mom can do to sort of ruin her kid, is to tell him that he is like super handsome and perfect and doesn't need to change and all of that. And then the guys go out into the world thinking that that might be true. And of course, women shoot them down. But it's not their fault as men. It's not their fault. Because another thing that should be considered is like men aren't simply being rejected because they're not living up to some standard. That's not the only thing. It's not like, this is basically Alex Psych, locus of control type stuff that she's basically going along with. But I think that this is ultimately a problem we can get into a little bit later when she, I mean, she doesn't, I will say this much. She doesn't have a bad advice. Like, it's kind of common sense stuff that she does bring forward, but that's not going to address the problem.
No,
I don't think so. Anyway.
Yeah, the locus of control stuff is really interesting because I did get into a bit of a back and forth with a woman who ended up blocking me. And she said that men need to be vulnerable. And I said, well, what are the vulnerabilities that you say men have? And then she described vulnerability in the same way that you would describe stoicism. Able to feel and manage difficult emotions, take risks, deal with shame. And I'm like, no, that's stoicism, not vulnerability. Vulnerability is being in a situation where you can be victimized by outside factors, external factors. It's like there's a real difficulty with that. Like, there's a role that people think men occupy, and it is inconsistent with recognizing any kind of external factor affects men. And I'm like watching these guys, these people over and over and over and over assert this idea that anything that men experience, they should be able to internalize and overcome. And that is the role that they have. Like, there's no nuance to it. There's no, well, yeah, but how do men like internalize an asteroid strike? You know, that kind of thing. And it really speaks to this unexamined expectation of men and women. And the unexamined expectation is that men judge themselves by receiving an external problem and solving it. And women judge themselves by how well they get men to solve their problems. And, you know, nobody's examining this. Nobody is being honest about it, because to be honest about it, would be to recognize that feminism is just another iteration of it. And so, yeah, I mean, so it does really come down to this additional expectation that probably women like this put on men to internalize everything. And I asked the woman, well, what difficult emotions do you think that men are experiencing, and where are they coming from? And then she blocked me. Too much thinking for the day, I guess. All right, let's go.
All right, let's play some more. I'm just opening the intro, and then she has like three sort of steps, or three steps or three lessons that she's trying to pass along. So let's get through the intro first.
Attractive, wealthy, fit, all these things, right? Because biologically, we are driven to want to find a great partner. We are driven to want people to admire us, to have status, to be able to afford nice things, right? And we want to pass on our genes. This is just the standard. And not everybody has to follow this standard, obviously. You know, it's a big world out there, and people are becoming a lot more open-minded now. But generally, this is how it is. This is why a lot of people struggle, because they don't work with these standards that are already there. So my take is that the reason women don't want to date you is because you have nothing to offer. So the first thing we're going to address is the
I'm sure they've never considered that.
Yeah, I'm sure that they've never. Yeah, again, this is like obvious stuff. But so men who are failed, and again, she says in the beginning, this also applies to women, but I watched the whole video. It applies to men. She's not talking about women. She brings up women at the end, like, oh yeah, women do this too. But it's kind of like a thing that she feels like, I have to say this just so that the men don't come after me in the comments or whatever. But ultimately, men are the ones that are judged by what they can bring to the table. Women are the table. So they don't have to. It doesn't mean that, like, they'll acknowledge that women can be toxic or dangerous to men. Maybe they'll acknowledge that, but most of the time it's not their fault. It's because the man wasn't, he didn't, he didn't vet the table.
He didn't internalize
he didn't fight patriarchy enough. Yeah.
I mean, Brian, you could fly if you just internalized gravity enough.
Yeah.
If you just recognized it, that the issue is how you think about gravity, not the fact it exists as an external force acting on you as a man.
Yep. So anyway, she's going to get into the three things. I think the first, this might be lesson 1 here. Let me just check my time codes really quick. 2:15. Maybe, let me just see here. I think let's play a little bit more of this.
Statement that people love to mention, which is, if you have a good-looking guy and if you also have a not so attractive guy, they could be saying the same things. They could be making the same moves, and the woman would be attracted to this guy over here, the good-looking one, whereas she would see the other guy as a creep and then not open the door for him or give him a chance, right? First of all, I'm going to say that I totally agree with this statement. But before you use this as a reason to have a really unattractive defeatist attitude and use it as an excuse to say, yeah, I don't have a chance anyway, why should I even try, right? I want you to ask, why is that? Why is it that good-looking people are more likely to have a chance? Perhaps, and I'm just saying maybe, it's because when you're attractive, you radiate self-love. It shows that you put effort into yourself, and maintaining appearance takes a lot of effort.
So she accepts that this double standard exists. But what's funny about this is that, okay. First of all, Allison, do you want to say anything? Because this is like the main thing. She's basically going to say that, you know, if you take care of yourself, you eat well, you exercise, you shower, you practice, you know, self-grooming, self-love is how the word she uses. I don't like those words, and I can get into why later, because I think that's a form of self-worship. But, you know, taking care of yourself is sort of common sense stuff. But those things I don't have a problem with. I think people should essentially engage in those things, sure. But I think there's another part of this that she does not acknowledge. But I wanted to give you a chance to talk about it first. Okay. Do you want me to just, say it?
Yes. Look,
so she exists. Okay. Well, yeah, obviously it does.
From men to people,
but here's the thing. Okay. What she is not understanding is that if a woman finds a man gives her the ick, or if a woman identifies a man as creepy, the thing that he is in danger of is not simply being rejected. Okay? Like we have essentially made men and women's ability to engage with each other socially nearly impossible because of all of the other sort of things that come with it. Like if a woman feels creeped out, she can like call the cops on a guy. She can get a guy fired. She can ruin his life. So men are not, in fact, encouraged to approach women unless they have already essentially grinded their whole life, maxed out their levels, did all the side quests, got all of the best loot, the legendary gear, and then they can approach the woman and maybe they won't creep her out. And this woman is like, yeah, that's what you should do. You got to level up. And that's essentially what they're saying. And I think that this is the problem, because what these men need is not advice from a woman. What these men need is essentially to, you know, sort of like, if there is work to be done on yourself, which I think everybody, including women, should definitely be doing that. But they don't need women like this telling them how to do it, because they don't know. They're just saying, level up, go ahead. I did it. And it's like, yeah, but your journey is the same. Well, that's what she would claim, because she even says in this video that she used to be fat and ugly, and then she, like, you know, took care of it or whatever.
Pounds?
Well, probably got some surgery done, and you know, where she's probably wearing
honestly,
makeup.
If you took the makeup off, she'd probably look like the guy in the top video there. Let me see.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. No. Look at the Asian dude in the top video.
Very. Should I go back again?
No. It's in the it's in the top thumbnail. Sorry, I actually paused in the thumbnail. Sorry. So I'm referring to something that you guys can't see. But yeah, if you look at the Asian dude in the top, very similar features. And I don't just mean that they're Asian. They have a very similar size nose, similar depth. Looks like probably a similar placement to their eyes. You slap some makeup on that dude and they could probably be twins. Yeah. So why is he not able to get a partner unless he becomes gay and goes really femboy route?
Unfortunately, Asian men are considered
unattractive.
They're considered the least attractive by women because they're the most feminine. Like, in terms, I'm not saying that I don't think Asian men are unattractive, but I'm saying that there was studies done that in general Asian men are considered or found to be the least attractive men. Mm-hmm. Maybe like by women. So I'm not saying that it's true. I'm just saying by women, along with Indian men as well. And the most attractive men were like, you know, white men or Latino men. And then but the more masculine, like the more like, you know, higher testosterone men and like certain types have like, you know, the expression is a little bit different, are more attractive women, just like in women, the more feminine looking women are considered more attractive. So Asian women are seen as the most attractive, for example. So, but anyway, yeah, but here's the thing too, is that she does acknowledge that she thinks that a lot of these men are not unattractive. She thinks that they're average or even somewhat attractive, but that their attitude is what makes them unattractive.
Well, how tall are they? Because honestly, that's a big part of it.
I don't know, but that's another thing that she doesn't bring up is height. Yeah.
I wonder, like, does she consider makeup to be part of taking care of yourself? Because it isn't.
She does talk about that later on.
Yeah, makeup isn't taking care of yourself. It's faking taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like, Makeup is faking, taking care of your skin, eating right, getting plenty of water, that kind of stuff. Of course, and it's also faking certain genetic qualities that you don't actually have, right?
Yeah.
Like symmetrical features.
She does
Less
talk about that. So
fat on your jaw.
I think we should listen to more of the video because all of the
Okay.
stuff you're bringing up, she brings up. So,
Oh, okay.
all right.
All right. Maybe we're
Let's
on the
play
same
some more.
wavelength in some
Yeah,
weird way.
maybe.
Chance, I'm just really ugly, blah, blah, blah. Before you keep yapping, think about this. Most people are average. That's the reality. On social media, it doesn't look like it, but most people are average, okay? And the fact of the matter is, you can still get a girlfriend, whether you're like a supermodel, or you're average, or you are ugly. People have proven that. Yes, you can still get a partner even if you're ugly as fuck, or even if you're broke as fuck. It can still happen. These are possibilities, and people have proven this time and time again.
So these are videos of this is the same guy. So I don't know like why she showed 3 images, the same guy, but he felt that he was very unattractive. He was making YouTube videos about it, and then he found a woman, and they got
found
married.
a woman,
and that's good. But okay, so
she
what?
doesn't
Like,
seem that much more attractive than him.
yeah, but he doesn't care. Like, I mean, generally, like attracts like.
Yeah, like attracts like. I don't see. I guess okay.
Well, she's using this to say, look, he did it. You can do it too, right? Now, again, like maybe these guys shouldn't be making videos about their struggles with relationships and posting them online because like the internet's not going to be kind to you. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know what you're hoping for. It's probably not a good idea, but they did it anyway because I don't know, maybe this is like a Zoomer thing to do that.
It probably is.
Yeah, probably. But again, like I would try to be supportive, but I guess I don't know. Anyway, so she's saying stop complaining. Let's play more.
So quit complaining. Also, I would like to make a case for guys I have known and come across in my life who conventionally, objectively, I thought that they were very attractive. They had very symmetrical features, they were fit, everything that says this is a good looking person, right? And I can tell you there are lots of instances where these men still really turn us girls off because of their terrible personalities, because they just lack something. You can be fucking attractive.
Yes, what they lack is dark triad.
Yeah.
Let's be quite honest. Dark triad men have a personality. What did they call it? Like a person. It was a particular type of word, but they have let's just call it like a personality framework that is attractive to women. Like literally dark triad men have personalities that attract women. So what you're being turned off by is probably just being normal and not being whatever it is that dark triad men are. Like, I don't know, super exciting, a little bit dangerous, something or other.
I think that's right. As an example, and this is going to be a bit of a digression, but I was just talking to Lindsay before the show, and we were both talking about the fact that they are making there is a remake of American Psycho in the works. And I looked into it a little bit and found that I think they're going to miss the entire point because, and this is relevant because Patrick Bateman is, like a psychopath that is attractive to women. And it's because he takes really good care of himself. Like there's this whole thing in the beginning of the movie where he has his entire routine so that he looks, like as good as he possibly can. And he's very concerned about his appearance and he's very concerned about fitting in. That was like one of his big things. If you guys never seen the movie, I recommend. It's a great character study. And of course there's a lot of memes, but the takeaway from the film is that there is something hollow about his materialist lifestyle that is not giving him any gratification, which is why he may or may not have become like a murderer, which we don't know because there's a lot of other things that it's talking about, but it looks like it. but then they're doing a remake of it, and from what I've seen, they're just going to present him as this like thirst trap for women. Like he's just like like whoever they got playing him is like this really, you know, sexy guy with a great body, and it's like basically they took. Let's put it like this: Patrick Bateman says something about people, and I think it's mostly like men who are like living in a materialist world, trying to figure out what it means to be like the absolute apex of your own potential, and the dangers of how that could dehumanize you and make it to where you can't like grasp at anything real because everything around you is fake. Okay. And then you have, and that's the way that I think you should be looking at that film if you watch it. And I think a lot of men that relate to that, they do. That's why there are all of these, you know, American Psycho memes out there on the internet. But then you have this remake, which is aimed at women. I can almost guarantee you it is. And all they have done is they've taken Christian Grey and put him in this movie, which completely misses the point, because the dark triad traits are not supposed to be attractive. Like, men are not supposed to want to pursue that. But this is where we live in now. This is the paradigm we are now under. It is the paradigm directed by like a kind of extremely toxic feminine worldview that is infecting everything, and it's basically saying, oh no, American Psycho, that's hot, let's redo that and make it really hot. And it's like, but he's a murderer, or he has murderous impulses at least, right? So I'm just saying, like, when you mentioned dark triad, I thought about that, because that's 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, and that's what they're doing. They're going to take Christian Grey and they're going to put him in the movie, because this is where women are at right now. This is where they're at right now. They want that. And so when regular guys who are just like, look, I just want a small job, a little house, maybe some kids, and that's it. I want to live in the world and just do those things. Women are like, that gives me the ick.
Boring.
It's boring. Where's the adventure? Where's the, you know, and why is that? Well, I think it goes back to what you and I have been talking about a lot. It's because women find all of this empty. Like, they're the psychos now. Like, they find this empty because they're purposeless, really. They're purposeless, so they're just like, how can I get stuff?
Okay, yeah. So anyway, I have a an article, like, in case people are wondering if, oh, are you so full of crap? No. Psychology Today. Men with psychopathic traits tend to create favorable impressions on women, according to a new study published in Evolutionary Psychology Science. So that's irrespective of good looks. So when she says have a better personality, do we really want to open up that can of worms? Really? Do we really want to encourage men to start cultivating what I guess women find good in the average personality? Like, why can't women just realize that these guys are too good to be true, right? They're are often the miasma of danger. Like, what's really interesting is that these are the guys they would say don't give them the ick and they don't regard as creepy, and yet they're the ones who are more likely to rape, beat, cheat on, steal from, take your kidney, kill your dog. Like, how come these guys don't give you the ick? Or you don't find them creepy? These are the dangerous ones. These are the ones whose personalities you like, and so there must be a big disconnect between actual danger and these terms like ick and creepy and all of that stuff. Right? There is a disconnect here. And I don't think we're bridging it. Because if you don't find men who are just normal attractive, and it looks like, I don't know how many women, but it looks like the average women, because they just use the term women in this study. So the average woman, if they had exactly like two twins, and one of the twins was a sociopath and the other one was a normal guy, they would say the normal guy gives them the ick and seems like a creep, and the sociopath is so dreamy. There's a problem here, and it's not with men. I guess men could start learning from sociopaths and start adopting their personality styles, but then it's an awful feeling, isn't it, to be like, okay, well, I have to pretend to be somebody different to attract my female partner. and that different person is a psycho. Like, I'm attracting a woman who would prefer to be with a murderous, like,
Well,
that's
she
gonna
does.
be,
She does kind of mention that guys shouldn't have to change who they are.
but
But that's what the issue is, though. The issue is that it doesn't matter because women are going to be attracted to whatever they're attracted to. So she essentially, this whole video becomes about like all the stuff that men can do, but it doesn't address what women like or want. So this is why it's a problem, because men can, like, again, I thought that the advice was good advice, but I don't think it's going to get you a woman. Like, that's the thing. She thinks it will. Oh no, this will work. This will work. It's like, no, but you should do it, but not because it might attract a partner, because like you can't control, that these, like, men, that's why men are just, why wouldn't they? They're just checking out like, I don't want to do this. There's too much work, too much money, too much trouble, too much heartache. I'm not going to do it. And women are like, why aren't you trying? Here's a bunch of advice. It's like, no, it's over. Stop. Change, alter your standards a little bit. Take a step back and stop calling yourself a 10. Well, I'm saying stop calling yourself a 10, realize you're mid, and then like, work with that. Stop trying to like be the, you're not Beyonce. It's over.
Okay. I don't even think it's standards. It's like, well, I mean, yes, it's altering standard. Because I remember I was in Home Math server and I was talking to this woman and she said, well, it seems like what men consider to be good is a woman with lower standards. And I'm like, I was thinking about that. And I'm like, no, it's not. They want a woman who's an actual companion, like who actually wants a man and doesn't consider them worthless. That's nothing to do with lowering your standards. It's becoming somebody who isn't materialistic and understands the value of human relationships. Of course, every human being wants to be with a person who understands the value of human relationships. And that's not lowering your standards. It's getting better standards.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, higher quality, more quality standards, not basic. Okay, anyway, let's play some more of the video.
Yeah.
You can be on TV and you can still turn women off. What's more, I used to go to school and I would meet these really decent looking guys, right? And they still had no girlfriend because they were weird. They had low self-esteem, and these were guys who were above average. I even thought they were kind of cute, but they just radiated really weird, desperate energy.
Yes, because they were
later on in the video.
Yeah, like I that was the clip I wanted to play because like, what is the weird, desperate energy? I don't even know what you mean by that. Like, if you told a man, the problem is that you radiate weird, desperate energy. What is he supposed to do with that? Why do women tell you shit that you can't change and you can't even like comprehend? Yeah, the energy. I don't like the energy. What does that even mean? Why can't you just tell us?
I know
like
what
something.
she means,
no, I know you know what she means. You're a woman too, but like men don't get that. We want like object. Like, okay, what do I do? Right. What? How much money do I have to make? How much? Like that's it. Like just. I'm sorry, but if a woman gives you the weird energy vibe thing, just walk away. It's not worth it. I'm not a translator for women's craziness. It's just it's exhausting. I'm getting tired just watching this.
I mean, for anybody who wants to actually try, the weird energy thing is, and I get what she's saying. I don't think she has any way of, like you said, she has no way of explaining to men how they resolve this. And, I mean, like being autistic, I think I have a little bit of a window to this because I do think that I give off a weird energy too often. And the way that I've tried to resolve this is just patience. Developing patience.
Right. Like, okay. So she says, let's say that, because this is the thing too. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's saying that these guys are giving off a weird energy. So let's try to understand what that is. So I think that what she might be trying to say is that they're introverted and shy. And that they're not exuding confidence, because she goes into why confidence is really important. That's why I think what she's saying is that they're not basically giving off weird energy means he's not doing what I find attractive, therefore it's not neutral. I find it unattractive. There's no neutral ground. There's no, oh, I see, they're trying to like connect, but they're not really sure what's going to work, or they're afraid of saying something wrong, because if you're a guy talking to a woman, you say something and it comes across wrong, guess what? You're in trouble, right? Because we have created a society that makes it nearly impossible for men to interact with women without risking getting in big trouble with the law or their school or their job or whatever. So this puts men in a very, very bad position of having to take a giant risk when they approach women. Now let's couple that with some other things. We know that more and more men, because of stuff that's been going on with birth control and other things across the generations, plastics and estrogens in our food and water and all that, are more likely to be a little autistic, if not a lot autistic. So now we have essentially we've kneecapped them again. We've made it to where socializing in general is difficult. We've taken the fathers away from them. We have essentially given women priority in terms of their education and their job opportunities. They're making more money. They're getting more degrees. And the men still have to approach women and talk to them and say, hey, I got something to offer, I think. And if they're a little bit spurgy, and because a lot of them are going to be a little bit spurgy and shy and awkward, right? Then women are going to find that unattractive, because they have literally like made it nearly impossible for men to meet those. Like, this is not even a high bar. This is like a bar of being like a normal person. But because, again, we have done all this to men over so much time, it's like, how could they possibly even like, and again, the risks are too high, like the Me Too movement and everything else. It's just, she can't understand that, because as a woman, she's never had to deal with that. In fact, I guarantee you, I will bet you whatever I have in the bank, which is probably less than like $300, but well, 500. But I will guarantee you that if you asked her, how do you feel about the dating market after Me Too and everything else, she wouldn't have a problem with it. She'd be like, well, no, it was a totally necessary, good thing. We got rid of the bad men. The bad men are gone. Of course, it applies to all men, but whatever. So, like, long story short, like, what men have nothing to work with. Like, they're very little. And she's like wagging her finger at them. And she's like, why aren't you trying? And it's like, look what you've done to them.
Where can men practice this kind of stuff? Like,
well,
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, they basically, what our society does is it says, well, you need to learn how to be suave and debonair and confident. And the way that we're going to get you to practice is we're going to make you run through this minefield. And if you make one mistake, you're going to get blown up. Like, it's like, okay, so where do men practice these? And if they go to pickup artists, of course, pickup artists are now not allowed or are hounded. They're not, well, I guess, I don't know. They must still operate. So where are men supposed to practice the ability to approach someone who this society has granted every power over their identity and their self-worth? Like, I mean, let's face it. Women determine whether or not, in our society, women's benefit and how men act out towards women determines how that man is seen socially. So we've put a situation where the woman has every control over the perception of social reputation, and we've increased. If anything, well, maybe it's not increased, but it's always, it's something that's probably always been the case. But maybe we had a little bit more sympathy, a little bit more ability for men to fail. Maybe not. Maybe this is something.
Yeah, no. New. Well, I think again, another thing is she doesn't talk about dating sites, but like, the way that men and women meet now is mostly through dating sites. And I think it's all wrong. I don't think it's the way to go, but I don't know that I can change that, because that's just kind of like where we are right now, especially if you're a man, because like the thing is, like, first impressions. Okay. Like, I don't know. I just don't think I don't think dating sites are good. I don't like them. I think they're bad for relationships. I just do. I don't know. I don't think they work. But
yeah, well, they don't. Like, first of all, apparently only 1 in 10 relationships start with dating sites, which is terrible if you consider how ubiquitous they are for people meeting each other. Like this, like they've barely made a dent. Dating sites have barely made a dent in getting people together. Like they are fundamental failures on every level. Again, like the statistic I just cited was 1 in 10 relationships started in a dating site. Okay. And yet how many dates are set up by dating sites? Like this is a terrible ratio. At this point, if dating sites were useful at all, we'd have like 90% relationships were started in a dating site, not 10. So it's still like meeting in person. But again, where can men practice these skills? Where can men learn to resolve their awkward desperation that she talks about, which I know exactly what she's talking about. And yes, it's off-putting. But on the other hand, I look at that, I'm like, well, but where can men learn not to be that way? All they learn is to invest more and more and more of their identity in somehow getting a woman. And then that's going to just increase the weird desperation. So the only way to really do that, to stop that, would be to create a situation where they can approach women and not experience this kind of fear of tremendous social repercussions that can come. Rejection is awful. But then the other thing is that I think a lot of men simply just, they see what women are now and they're saying no. They don't want it. It's just,
yeah, I'm sure it's painful, but it's like a rational, pragmatic choice. It's like,
I mean, what are women doing? What are they showing to men en masse? Are they saying, well, being desirable, being respected, being loved is on offer? No. What they're overwhelmingly demonstrating is that you're going to get into a lizard brain, coarse, materialistic exchange with someone who's going to constantly look at you the way a cat looks at a mouse. Why the hell would you want to live like that? And then the other thing is that there's so many demands. You were talking about all the shit. Men have to be perfect right off the bat. Well, at what point do men realize that they're in a relationship with themselves?
Yeah, well,
if she says, I'm the table, basically what she's saying is you're going to have to be in a relationship with yourself if you want to be in a relationship with me. Then why do you even need the woman at that point? I guess. Well, I mean, I'm not a guy. I can't say that. And I know guys have said, oh, but you're speaking from a privileged position. But really, at that point, you're having a relationship with what is it? Like, what is, if she brings nothing, then who is having a relationship with who? Okay. All right. So I'll shut up now.
All right. Let me play some more. I skipped ahead a little bit. So
how are you supposed to build on your life? How are you supposed to have anything to offer us at all? Whether that's just an interesting personality, just some knowledge and hobbies and things that you like, or even just an air of self-love, which is much more attractive than someone who radiates.
Oh, that's why the dark triad men are so attractive. It's that air of self-love.
Yeah. So she makes self-love a big part of it, and I think that this, I know, it just it makes me cringe inside, and because I think this is the problem with this attitude, and it goes back to something I've said many times already. You're not here to be happy; you're here to be useful, and women have to internalize that. Like, what is your like? If you're only engaging in self-love, self-worship, self-idolatry, whatever you want to call it, you are not going to be happy, and the data shows this for women. And it is kind of like magical thinking. It's still magical thinking, right? It's not useful. And again, I think that what makes people really like feel like they're thriving is when they are serving something greater. It could be a marriage, relationship, family, community, whatever, right? I think that overemphasizing yourself limits your personal growth, because then you start affirming that you're perfect the way you are, and then you don't do anything better. So I don't know. I don't think this is like a healthy attitude, but I know it's a very popular one with these kind of female dating strategy types. And again, she even admitted herself that she thought of herself as ugly and unattractive. Now, of course, she shows video of what she used to look like. I don't think it's that much different, but this is like.
Let's get to it then. Let's get to it.
All right.
No, I get what you're saying about the self-love thing. Well, you know what, lady? That's why you keep attracting narcissists, or you keep being attracted to narcissists.
Yeah.
This is the funny thing. She's like, well, What men, you need to give off this aura of self-love. 6 months later, my ex was a narcissist. Like, do you see the connection here?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you
Oh, for sure.
should go after people who are a little less self-loving.
I got
All right.
some super chats and stuff I should read. Hold on. Make sure I didn't miss a super chow. I not yet. So Senior Sticks gave us $2 and says Tinder, Grinder, eHarmony, Body Pillows, Chat GPT. Thank you. I hope you're not talking to Chat GPT in that way. NovaFan21 gives us $1. Well, he gives us 2 Rumble rants, $1 each. It's like a 2-parter. So I'll just read them both. I know the tech is nowhere near enough for this, but imagine if hypothetically someone builds a chatbot that perfectly mimics a healthy woman and men learn how to make her happy. Imagine what would happen if said men tried their social skills on real women and discover either too few or zero women were not horrible partners. Imagine the feminist outrage and cope over it. People have brought this up. I think maybe even Elon Musk said something about like using AI to like train men to talk to women. But I don't think that that's the problem, unless the chatbot was trained on the way that women, like what women's standards are right now. I don't know though. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I still don't. But I still don't think, because if they know they're talking to a chatbot, then they know that there's no like real negative consequences. And it might be a safe way to practice, but I don't know if it's better than like maybe what it's for me anyway. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but like maybe they should just make friends with women that are not they're not sexually attracted to at all, or at least like don't make that a priority in any way. Just like, see if you like to spend time with them in a casual platonic setting. And that's it. I think that will make I think that would do wonders, and especially with other men as well.
Honestly, I think that we've really we're really encountering some difficulties, and nobody's being honest about it, because everybody's emotive in this topic. Women want to defend their moral blamelessness. Men want to defend the idea that they can power through anything. But I'm actually thinking that if this is a genuine artifact, that women just tend to be more attracted to the personalities of the most antisocial men out there, then maybe all of this, like cloistering and that we saw in the past and vetting through families and all of this other stuff was absolutely essential to maintain like a civil society. Mm-hmm. Because this is and if women's families aren't going to do it for them, if women's families aren't going to slap them in the face and say that dude is no good for you, stop screwing around with Anatole, Natasha, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's a reference. But if their families are not going to do it, then women need to learn to get over this and stop finding dark triad men attractive. Start realizing that kind of behavior is indicative of somebody who's actually genuinely dangerous. I mean, and part of it is, I think dark triad men don't give a crap about women's opinions. They just give a crap about women's perceptions. Do you see the difference?
Yeah. No, for sure.
The reason why
that's how they get in those pants.
Yeah, well, but it's how they also do whatever it is that they're going to do, which is maneuver you into a position where you can't say no, steal your kidney, steal your bank account, do whatever else that they're going to do. It's because they have a predatory mindset when it comes to women. They don't give a crap about your opinion. Therefore, they don't have that, what she described as desperate energy. Yeah. The men who care about your opinion feel desperate because they don't want to run afoul of your negative opinion of them. So they're scared of that. Dark triad men aren't scared of that. They couldn't give a crap about your opinion. All they care about is that you perceive them as attractive. That's it. And maybe you should consider, well, if the guy has a little bit of nervous freaking energy, and it probably is more like nervous energy than just like, like crazy desperate energy, maybe there's a reason for it, and that's a good sign. Like if he's nervous around you, I mean, it's nice when he's comfortable, sure, but if he's a little bit nervous around you, maybe it's a good sign. Maybe it's a sign the guy actually has a conscience. Hey? And maybe you should start to work on realizing that maybe you should be attracted to that. What was it? That song, the Shy Guy. It was something that came out, like, it was when women were still writing songs about men in positive ways. My guy is shy.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I was listening to music today, and there's this song by Lily Allen called Smile, and it was playing on my Spotify. And Lindsay was like, I like this song. And I was like, yeah, I do too. It's very catchy. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's not good. Like, basically everything from the 90s on was like super nihilistic music, even if it sounded good. Yeah. Or it was super simpy if you were a man. Holy crap. There was a lot of simpy music in the 90s. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he's
Shy Guy.
Shy Guy, or the other one. There was another one.
He's So Shy by the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah, by the Pointer Sisters. That's what I was thinking. The Pointer Sisters, but I second guessed myself because I don't remember trivia very well. But yeah, like that. Those kinds of things. Those kinds of songs. Maybe they're trying to tell you something, ladies. Take some wisdom from some older women who probably enjoyed their lives a hell of a lot more than you did. All right, or you are. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
The chance. She's kind of hot now. Like, some people just have issues they need to resolve before they even think about wanting a partner. You know what would make these people really attractive? If they can just say, you know what? Yeah, I'm an ugly guy. And then use that to lighten the...
That's her, what she used to look like. So I'm guessing she got some work done. And she uses makeup to, because like the thing, okay, let's be real, okay? Oriental girls, they love makeup. They use a lot of it. It's a big thing. Like the industry of cosmetics in like Asian countries is massive. Even the men use it. And she mentions this too, that men, if you feel like you need makeup, you should wear it. But yeah, I don't think that she's ugly though. I don't think that she's ugly even before, but that's just me. I think she's normal. But this is the thing, too, that I think this points out. And I'm going to play more of the clip in a second. So I don't think she was ugly. She does, or did, like she thought she was. But what she is essentially demonstrating, in my opinion, is that the way she looked before wasn't getting her the men that she felt like she deserved. So she made these changes to attract higher status men that would normally not have been within her reach, is what I'm guessing. So do you see how this shows that she is telling men to just like accept what they are, and that she'll even say, I did that, but you didn't really, because you felt the need to change what you look like because you weren't scoring like the top dudes. So your hypergamy cause you to change yourself, which means you like by definition you were not satisfied with the way you looked, but you're going to claim that men should be.
I don't think that this is like pre-weight loss photo. At most she might have done some work on her nose, but I think actually what she's done is just put some makeup to thin her nose, and I don't think she's lost any weight.
Well, this might not be. There's another video of her when she claims that she was fat that comes up later. This is just a brief shot of her face. So this could be a different point on the timeline.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so you basically just cleaned yourself up, wore some makeup, and got out of a sleep shirt. Okay, so you did the bare minimum, and now you're... I'm pretty sure all of those men have done the bare minimum. They look like their hair is styled. They look like they're wearing reasonable, not tattered clothing. I think that they've done the bare minimum, and they're still like I said, that one dude that looks like he could be her twin. I think he's dealing with things outside of him that he has no control over that she isn't dealing with. Because I think that Asian, like you said, Asian dudes really get it in the meat market.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, but I just
okay.
had one thing. I think that the thing going up when we do the response, is it going up on the top?
What thing?
The thing we're responding to, her video. Is it going
Video?
up on
Yeah, when I hit play, it does. But if you make any noise, it immediately cuts to you. So
I got to shut up.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut my app. Okay.
At least just for the clip. Okay, I'm going to play it now.
Conversation. Make it humorous. It's not that serious. You know, go ahead and say, yeah, I mean, I'm jealous. Those guys are really hot. You know, damn, I can't get a girlfriend. I'm ugly as shit. Laugh about it.
Isn't that
Laugh
where
about it. Laugh about your insecurity.
Okay. This is something that I have a problem with. And I know this is going to seem like a segue with, like, for example, fat shaming. Yeah, fair enough. We should probably not encourage really large women to consider that their lifestyle is healthy at all, or men. But on the other hand, if you're not willing to be somebody to actually support someone else through the fat loss journey, shut your mouth. Like, just move on. Let them deal with it, because more shaming doesn't really help. A lot of these people who genuinely recognize that they have a problem, they genuinely recognize they have a problem. And this is the thing that I would say about this too. These guys who you are shaming for talking about their problem, how do you think they get to a place where they can laugh about it? Right? How do you think by talking about it, by talking through it, by having people who say, I hear you, I care about your experience. I'm not going to immediately tell you to internalize it and, I don't know, radiate masculine aura and bounce that fucking asteroid off your chest. I'm going to say, hey, that sucks. But there's more to life. Let's look for else. What else? Let's just play a game together. Let's do something fun. Let's get our minds off it. How do you get to the point of dealing with something that's actually pretty awful, which is you're not attractive to the opposite sex, and your society tells you that their opinion of you is the entirety of your worth? How do you get past that? Are you prepared to help them past it? Then don't shame them for it. Like,
yep.
It's freaking cruel. All right, let's keep going.
All right, I'm going to play some more.
Insecurities, accept them. All right? I'm allowed to say these things because I used to be fat and ugly.
Okay, wait. What?
That's her, like, I used to be fat and ugly.
Oh, she's so cute. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, so a little chubby. No, but again, go ahead.
Well, definitely in the sweater, she looks so much better. Like, she looks like if she had reasonable standards, she would have been wifed up and had 3 kids by now. Like, she looks fine. Why did she have to go onto the dark path? Like, why did she have to go to the dark side?
Yeah.
It was like a slight digression. You know what you could have done is improved your fucking attitude and got yourself a husband. But you didn't do that. Instead, you're here. Unless she does have a husband. The background would suggest she probably lives with her parents.
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea. But okay, play I want to say something about this after this clip is over.
Believe it, me. I look good now. I have to say I look pretty good, right? But even then, I knew that the formula to having friends and people actually wanting to hang out with me was to be likable. You can make people feel good about themselves. You don't have to make it awkward all the time. As if you're
being likable now?
No, I don't think so. And again, like, what do you mean make it awkward? I don't think anyone's trying to make anything awkward. I think people, especially after like 3 years of COVID hell world, are they're having a hard time connecting with other people. Maybe some of them.
Oh man, that's what I know that this was maybe not for you, but boy, was that meetup good for my soul.
I enjoyed it.
Just being able to see other people, even if they are quiet, just being able to sit with them and be like chill and just look at stuff and just know that you're with people who aren't going to judge you horribly for who you are. You know what I mean? It's very nice. And you don't have to be the life of a party to be likable. I mean, the thing is she likable?
She claims to be, or at least
Yeah,
she
I mean,
knows that's what should happen. But the other thing is, can I just say, like, why is it she is trying to compare her experience to these men's experience as though it's a one-to-one? Like,
well,
oh, I've been there, it's exactly the same.
mm,
It literally isn't. You know why? Because the attention you get as a woman is from men who are expected to take initiative. Men's experience with women is the opposite. They won't get attention from women because women are not expected to approach or to initiate, even for in a friendly sense, right? So she's going to say, I'm just like you guys, but it's like, no, the experiences between men and women in terms of like their friend groups and their romantic partners or whatever is not the same, like the way at least that it initiates. So like, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. And then on top of that, you have to consider again, she is clearly being hypergamous in her layout for these arguments. Like these are the things she expects of men that she's not actually going to date. She's not even going to date them. She just wants them to stop whining. That's what I get from it. Stop whining. It's like it's Alex Psych, external locus of control stuff. Why are you being a victim? That's my job, right? Hence, like even in this video, she kind of victimized herself a little bit excessively because, like, I didn't think she was unattractive, but she thought she was unattractive because she wasn't attracting the kind of men that she wanted to, which is the top 1% of guys. And
she isn't now either. I guarantee it.
Well, she probably still feels like she has work to do, but that's because again, she's aiming for the moon instead of like, you know, like I think that a woman who is in a fulfilling relationship or marriage with children is actually, they tend to be the most naturally attractive. Like they don't have to try.
MILF,
they're just like,
MILF
you know,
chaser here.
well, yeah, no, I mean, no, I'm saying like, I got a sound for the MILF chasing thing. Hold on a second. I just thought I'd play it. But
is that the MILF chasing one?
Yeah, it is. People who watch that show know that is true. But anyway, no, what I mean is like, you know, like I'm saying not obviously I love Lindsay, but like when I go to church, there are women that I know there that have kids and they're like some of the most graceful and nice people. Like they just have beautiful souls is what I'm saying. I get along with them easily. And I think that like the childless ones that are like a little older, they're the ones that come across as a bit bitter and like hard to like, you know, gauge, and they don't have a sense of humor. So I don't know. It's just different. Like they're you know what it is? They're humble. That's what it is. They're humble, and the humility is attractive.
I'm going to say something. And again, I'm not talking about the ones where she's sort of squishing or like that. The one where she was in her sweater. I mean, if she didn't have a partner, I think she could have just dealt with whatever standards were standing in. And
dude, she looked like May from Overwatch. Let me go back a little bit. That's how you know. Like there's like so much.
Yeah,
and of that game.
But
let me go to that bit.
I knew that the formula to having friends and people actually wanting to hang out with me. I'm allowed to say these things.
Yeah, but you didn't change your likability, did you?
Ugly.
You changed your physical appearance. So the formula is to be likable. So I lost weight and wore makeup.
Yeah, it's like exactly. She's saying the formula is to have a good personality, so I changed my appearance.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't even make sense. But the other thing is I wanted to say is she actually looks more likable in her sweater. And I mean, I you know, like you're right. She looks like May from Overwatch.
She does. Yeah.
And the other thing is that she's saying, well, she basically referring to appearance when she talks about personality. And the other thing is that I talk about standards, but maybe I shouldn't say lower your standards. Change your damn standards. Learn that what matters in life is human connection. And maybe that's why the mothers in your church seem to have a lot more grace, is they probably understand that what matters in life is human connection. You know, I know this sounds really dumb, but my dog actually really made me understand that, simply by just being happy to see me, and just wanting to be around me. And it's like that kind of experience. And I'm sure that mothers get that because they have children who no doubt are pretty thrilled to be around them, and they appreciate life. And when you're raising a little creature who's just new to the world, you get that experience of understanding that everything is precious. And so it's not lower your standards, in fact, raise your standards, because materialistic crap is just pre-trash. It's your relationships that are your jewels, and that's raising your standards. And like, honestly, I don't think that she really thought that through when she said, like, being around people is about being likable, therefore I changed my appearance. Maybe being likable is really enjoying people's company. I mean, even if you're awkward, if you really care about somebody, doesn't that come through? I don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a Rumble rant from Bruno Goats for $1.
Oh wait, we got a super chow.
I got to look at it in a second, but he says for $1, this is why PUAs will always have a job. Empathetic men I found in the manosphere were the only people I could vent to about not doing well with women. No other external group allowed me to vent. Well, thank you for saying that, because I think the manosphere gets a bad rap, and even from people in the men's movement that are just like, I don't like that they're stealing my thunder or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, sure, I agree with you. I don't think it's all, what the face of it appears to be. And I think that the media, the cathedral, has done a really good job of misrepresenting the manosphere so much that it's affected people within the manosphere, where they're like, oh yeah, I heard somehow I have this idea about this thing that I'm a part of that counters that. So I'm against it now. So yeah, no, thanks for pointing that out. And so you're absolutely right. It's like, literally, men don't have a lot of places to go. Why would I take a shit on a place that they're going just because some people that are in there have said some things that are, some people might find, you know what I'm saying? It's so like stupid. Just leave people alone. All right. What's the super chat? Oh, I can read it. I can find it here. For some reason, I didn't see it. Albatross gives us $5. Thank you, Albatross, and says, I don't think the women who say you give off desperate energy want those men to improve. They want a caste system where it's okay to bully a certain caste because society says it's deserved. That's a good point. I think that's true.
Popping up in your
yeah, let me refresh. It'll probably come up if I refresh this page. Social Stream Ninja is constantly updating. I'm serious. I get like an update every day almost. It's super annoying, and I want them to just figure it out and then settle on something, but they can't. They're the biggest spurgs ever. They're just constantly updating. So when I've refreshed. So try, if you send another one, it's throughout. I'll probably get it on the screen.
Yeah, somebody send another super chat to check that.
Just to test it.
Just to test. Test the tip there.
Test the chows. All right. Anyway, let's play some more of the video.
Of other people's company. I used to have people mock me for being so fat that I could probably fill up 2 seats on a plane. And when these same people asked me,
obviously she wasn't that fat. Like I don't know. Maybe she's surrounded by other girls, because the girls can be really brutal to each other about that. So they were probably teasing the crap out of her. But anyway.
If I would share my food, I would say to them, yeah, no, I don't think so. I got to fill up 2 seats on a plane. So just own it. Whatever you look like, however you are, just own it, because it's going to be relatable and it's going to come off as attractive, and it's going to make you seem very likable and charming. All right, step 2, guys. You need to live life for yourself. Okay, so if you are miserable because you're pursuing a degree that you don't like, or you're working this dead-end job and you hate it, or your parents told you you have to become like a doctor, lawyer, dentist, I don't know, and you're listening to them and you're pursuing this, but you have nothing going on about yourself, like your whole life is just about work or pleasing other people, that is such a turn off. So please.
Didn't she say, that's not wrong, but didn't she say in the beginning of the video, didn't she say that the problem with these men is that they are not considering other people's needs, or desires.
Yep.
It was the first thing that she said.
Yeah.
Was why aren't you thinking about how you can serve others, what that you have to offer to others? And now she's completely contradicting that and saying you have to. I agree with the idea that a man. This is what I say to. I've been saying this for a long time, that if you like just sort of focus on your own personal goals, whatever they are, make sure that they're pragmatic, but also something you desire to pursue. If you just focus on doing that and building friend groups with other men or whatever, you're going to be satisfied in your life, and you may also, as a side effect, attract someone. But it doesn't have to be the purpose of what you are doing. And I think that's what she's trying to say. And I don't disagree with that. But I do think it's weird that she contradicted herself, because she's trying to have her cake and eat it too, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to go back to that Twitter conversation I had with that woman who said that men aren't vulnerable, and she defined vulnerability as being able to recognize and feel difficult emotions and then process them and overcome them. I'm like, well, that's stoicism by any measure. So how do you think that these guys are going to be able to process these feelings of rejection and be able to become somebody who's comfortable with themselves if they can't even talk about it? Right? Like, I'm pretty sure that you had people you could talk to about your feelings of being the fat girl if you were. Right? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that those people, who I hope you had somebody, actually made you feel better about the situation and able to overcome these difficult feelings. Or at the very least, you didn't shame yourself for your own difficult feelings. And I think if you did, you probably would still be stuck in them. Right? So if you don't give men a space to talk about these difficult feelings, how are they going to get to a spot where they can overcome them? I mean, they can probably do it alone by themselves. But should they have to? Really? And if they are the kind of guys who are talking about this publicly, why would you shame them for that? Because there's a difference between a guy being like, I'm going to deal with this on my own, and another guy opening up and then being shamed. There's a different level of trauma there. And that's what you're doing. Like, yeah, they're having trouble with this. It's okay. Let them have their emotion. And the thing is, the more that women like this push back against any expression of men's emotion, like where do you think all this shit is coming from? I know Brian started this with, bottle it up and blow up, right? Like, but you don't see the causal relationship here. And by blowing up, most likely it's men going to be harming themselves, not anybody else, overwhelmingly. But you're not seeing the causal relationship here. Like, anyway, you have a place to talk about your pain in regards to external factors, external expectations that are placed on you because of your looks as a woman. You have places to go. These men don't. And you're shaming them for going to the few places they do have and asking for help and asking for somebody to say, hey, it sucks. But that's not all of what you are. Okay. I'm done.
Okay. All right. So I got a couple of super chows. So an anonymous person gave us $100. Thank you so much for that. I gotta give you a sound effect for that. Really appreciate it. And he says, "Man is $100. $100 super chow."
Geez.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was great. And he says, "Manosphere, the red pill, and PUAs realize female mating strategies. That's why they have to be unpersoned." It's true. Exactly. And that's why I won't condemn them unless, they do something worthy of condemnation, because I know that they're helping people somewhere, right? It's, what it is? Actually, it's the same thing as the Justin Trottier thing. So I can use that as my example. On principle, okay? I support the work that Justin does, even if it means that he has to occasionally shake hands with feminists because the fact is they run everything. So it's like, well, do you want to save the lives of men and give them help or hope in any way? Or are you so dead set against like people who are, politically compromised or whatever it is that you don't want anything for them? So like for me, it's like, and fortunately, I did support that because I just did a fireside chat with Prim Reaper, and she was talking about how she is essentially gatekeeping the space to try and keep ideologues out of it so that she can give men, maximize the help that they get. And so it's like, I'm going to support on principle in this. Yeah, it's a W for us in the same way that I think that the red pill, the manosphere, and the PUAs, they have something to offer that some men want. And at the very least, they give those men a place where they can their grievances. Even the incel forums, I feel the same way, right? The incel forums should exist because those guys need a place where they can go and without shame, talk about stuff. Now, I think it should be constructive, but I'm not going to go in there and police the space. I don't have time. But I think that it's okay that those places exist. So anyway, thank you for that really great bit of wisdom. Ciao. So, and then Pepito gives us $25. Pepito gives us a $25 and says, Brian Allison, great shows last week. Shut app and take my money. Let me see. And I got one more from Pax Max for $5. And he says, Super Ciao. Say hi, hello. Hey, hi, hello. Thank you, Pax Max. I haven't on our chat for a while, so it's kind of nice to see Pax Max.
I think
or I wasn't paying attention.
Though. Yeah. That's
awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay, let me see. Let's get through the rest of this time code. And this is about self-love, right? Okay, let's play some more of this.
You need to sort that out first. Live life for yourself. You need to ask yourself, am I living life for myself right now? Or am I doing things for other people? And you need to have some introspection here. An emotionally mature, aware guy, nothing beats that. Like, trust me. I have had girlfriends go for butt ugly guys who are in their late 40s, who have no money because they are emotionally aware. Make of that what you will. So yes,
and how do men become emotionally aware of their emotions if you're shaming them for talking about them?
Yep.
Like I have the emotion.
These are all things. These are all things men should learn to develop. So if they haven't, you have to ask yourself why. Like, what was the obstacles in their early life, and can you give them the space to do it? And just like by giving them, giving them the space. Like, what's wrong with men? Like, how do they get? And I'm blaming them. I think that there's like a rational reason for it. Probably, but we should explore that, Anyway, okay, so let me see. I gotta jump to the next thing because basically it's just like live life for yourself, and then like 14 minutes we get to desperation. So, and again, I don't disagree with some of these things. Like in general, in the abstract, they're true, but she's sort of adding, like, I don't know. I just don't think she's coming from a very informed or empathetic place. What's wrong? Allison dropped.
No, I didn't drop. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
yeah,
what happened?
It's just my camera dropped for some reason, just randomly. Just decided to go away.
Can you still? It's okay.
Let me see if I can get it
see the video.
Again.
Okay.
I can still see the video again. Like I could change.
Right.
Here.
I'll play some more of this. In the meantime, so
divine timing and the universe. When it comes to finding the love of your life or being in a karmic relationship, this is up to the universe. This is divine timing's job, so don't worry about it too much. Now, I want to add to that, when it gets to a point where you are...
I just want to say, like, this woo shit, it annoys me because if I were to, like, I wanted to read something about this self-care, self-worship stuff. You guys all have heard the saying pride goes before a fall. Well, the full quote is pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. This is about that. This is from the Bible, and everybody says it. They may not know that's where it's from, But I mean, it's true. But I'm not. No, I've never said the universe is going to give you what you want. Like I like, but because that's sort of it's sort of this weird kind of magical thinking that these people engage in, and then they claim that they're like rational creatures. I don't know.
So secure in yourself, and it makes no difference whether you're in a relationship or not, and it makes no change to the quality of your life, that is when you will get the opportunity. That is only when it will arrive for you, okay? No sooner, no later. When you stop wanting, you receive. That's how the world works. Once you become a secure person, people, women, we can sense that off of you. That is attractive in itself. It is inherent, okay? There's nothing else you need to do so much except carry on with what feels natural for you.
All right. So, Allison, you want to? I want to say something about this, but I'll let you go first.
I'm trying to think. Like natural. What did she do about her
karmic
personality?
Love, right?
Well, she just loved herself. Is that, and then everybody loved her? Does she have any like receipts to go with that?
No.
Statement that everybody started to love her and think that she was so much better?
No, she was just certain that she had a really good personality and that it overcame her, ugly, fat traits.
I don't know. That just well, I'd like to see receipts on that. And yeah, so she lost weight, loved herself, and then that was the personality change.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, no, she changed her personality first because she would poke fun at herself and had like a positive attitude about her imperfections, and that made her attractive. And she believes that that would make men attractive too.
Then why did she lose weight?
She wanted to? I don't know. I mean, right. I assume that she wanted to.
Okay, so poking fun at your unattractiveness makes you emotionally. You know what? Let's just finish this off. I mean, we're running out of time here.
Well, I just wanted to. Can I just say something about this that I think is also interesting? So, she is basically claiming that. Well, she's saying that the universe will provide. Okay, so it's magical thinking, but there's something about it that's a little bit more sinister. Okay, what just like that I want to put on top of that. So you can operate within the idea is that if you are on target in your own life, then good things will come to you as a result. So on target meaning that try to get a decent job, do something you love, work on yourself, take baths, clean your room, wash your penis, save money, build credit, get fit, etc. And that, but what you are doing this for is essentially to orient the universe to give you a woman, and that's what she is saying, right? And there was something about this that really got under my skin, and then I realized it makes the woman the ultimate prize. And so it's essentially the essence of gynocentrism. And it orients men in, I think, a direction that I don't like, because I think that if men are going to orient themselves towards something, it has to be much higher than women. And I think that you can make the same argument. I know this. Okay, I'm sorry. I think that you had
a good point there, because when men orientate themselves to something higher, that's when we become more elevated. Like when they orientate themselves to nationalism or spirituality or anything like or building something, then that becomes a much more positive use of their time than simply lizard braining after women. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Well, I'll read this from. This is from Exodus, okay? You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself an image in the form of anything between in heaven above or on earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. So like this is, I think that's kind of like the reason why this existed. It was like, don't worship the earthly. And women are earthly beings. You have to. I'm not saying it has to be God. I'm not preaching here. But if it isn't something higher, then this is the paradigm that she is laying out. This is the paradigm we live under now. This is what Gynocentrism creates. And I know people who hate that I even use that word, but it is true. Like, this woman is saying, she is essentially acting like one of the gods of Olympus, pointing down to the mortals and saying, if you do everything right, I will allow one of my subjects to be attracted to you. That's not how this should go. You see? So I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to look at this from a humanist perspective. So I'm not like making like I don't know, like a theological argument, but I'm looking at the evidence of that, because it's either, we're all going to worship something. So like, women are primed to want to make us worship them. That's sort of like the I think that's where we're at right now. I think that's the energy. So speaking of energy, anyway, so now she's going to get into.
Am I low energy?
No. I'm saying, because I was talking about energy, like it was weird energy. We were talking about weird energy.
Oh,
earlier.
Right. Am I got weird energy right now?
No.
Okay.
No, not any more than normal. All right.
Okay.
So let's keep going.
You most definitely do not want to come off as desperate. Let me elaborate on this, because desperation is extremely dangerous. I don't think there's anything more dangerous than desperation, okay?
Okay.
Dangerous?
So desperation is dangerous, okay?
Why?
Well, let's find out. I think it can be, but I think it's dangerous to the person who is being desperate. Because if you're desperate, you might accept something that you shouldn't, which goes back to what I was saying before about aiming for the highest. I think women can use that. And I think that it's bad for men to be in a state of desperation to find a woman. But I think this woman is going to make the argument that it's dangerous for women, that men are desperate. But let's get into that.
That shit is terrible. Insecurity. When we do not accept our insecurities and when we live in denial of them, because it's natural. We all have insecurities, okay? But when we repress our feelings, dangerous things happen. People cheat. But people are driven to violence.
What did this start with? Like, literally, do we have to continuously watch these shows by these women and they set something out and then they contradict it over and over and over again?
I don't know. Do we, Richard? Do we? Do we? I think it's our punishment.
It's our punishment for existing.
It's our eternal torment is to reply to videos of
she just
overly done up Asian women complaining about men.
She just contradicted herself massively. What did this start with? Men complain, or at least her allegation that men were complaining. They're having an emotion about being rejected. And now she's saying not expressing your emotions is bad. It leads to blah, blah, blah explosions, right? Well, you're shaming men for expressing their emotions, and now you're shaming them for not expressing them because they're going to be dangerous. I think you just want to shame them. All right.
Yep. All right.
Driven to manipulate and play games. I do not condone games. Games are terrible, okay? They are not authentic and genuine, and that is not the way that you enter a relationship that has true, genuine, valuable connection and love. It's just not through gameplay. This is what I, as a woman, think when a guy is coming up to me and he's giving me desperate energy. I'm thinking to myself, ew, gross. This person wants my time and my energy for nothing in exchange. This person does not like themselves, and yet they want my time and energy.
For nothing? Would not their time and energy be the exchange factor? I mean, this goes back to what I was saying about recognizing that human connection is the most important thing. Like, she doesn't seem to be aware that men do have something to give, having nothing else. They do have something to give women, which is their commitment and their time and their energy. And believe me, if you could get a man to commit to you, there won't be any being on earth that can commit that much. Right? So this is, this is like Did you not see that he does have something to give you? You just don't want it, I guess, which is fair enough. But then the other thing becomes, why is he desperate? He is desperate because he cares about your opinion. Now, it'd be nice to get men to the point where they don't put that much stock into a random woman's opinion. And, we try to do that here to try to, remind guys that, maybe the average man or the average woman probably isn't worth that kind of your desperate desire for her approval. But, consider the goods first before you put that much desperation in it. But like, think about why he might be desperate again. Maybe he really wants you. That might lead to actual. And the thing is that I think that this really also hits on why sociopaths are more attractive to women. I guess they don't have that desperate energy.
Yeah, they don't, because they don't. They're only investing enough to convince the woman that they're interested, not that the woman is the most interesting thing to them, but it's not true. Like they're not really risking anything, right?
Well, I don't even think that they're showing that the woman is the most interesting thing to them. They're showing that she isn't, I think, is what's going on. Yeah, it's like they don't look like they're desperate for the woman's approval, right? I think that's what she's really talking about. She's talking about men who are desperate for her approval because, let's face it, society puts men in a state where they think that women's approval is the be all and end all of their social worth. But psychopaths don't give a crap about social approval. So, and they will not go to this woman with any kind of sense of desperation about her social approval. Again, all they care about is her perception of them. Like her perception of them is attractive, maybe. But the social approval is gone, which means they don't really risk anything. I mean, I really don't think that when a cat is stalking a mouse, it's concerned that the mouse is going to laugh at it. Same principle. So, in this case, when a sociopath is stalking a woman, he doesn't care if she's going to laugh at him. So he's not coming with that sense of social desperation, that sense of worry about her approval. He's not. He doesn't even have it. So what she's picking up on is likely that these guys have a concern about their opinion, about her opinion of them on a social level, on the level of whether or not they're rejected from the social group. Sociopaths don't have that. So they just go and they do whatever, they exude whatever personality that they have that women find attractive. Right? Okay, let's continue.
Yeah. All right.
They want me to validate them with my presence. Nuh-uh. No.
Ugh.
What?
Now it comes out. I did the work. Now I get to be the pickiest, and men have to be the pick-me's. I forgot to read a super chat I got from Great Indoors, so let me read that really quick. He gives us $10 and says, "Men, live life for yourself. Go your own way." No, wait, no, not like that. You still got to prioritize us women and center your life around our needs. Just be more casual about it, I guess, and with less ick. Yes, lose the ick. How? Stop talking to me. Yeah, it's like don't even. It's like a spiral of confusion. The guy who wrote what's the name? Junji Ito. He's a mangaka who created the story Uzumaki. He should write a horror story about like women like this that are indecisive and how the more they contradict, the more inside out men's heads turn. Like they just invert. And that'd be like a body horror, the likes of which no one's ever seen, and it'd be based in reality. Great for October too. So Junji Ito, if you're watching this, get on that. Okay. So she basically has let the cat out of the bag and told us that her presence is extremely valuable and her time, which shouldn't be a surprise.
Well, we knew it was we knew it was coming.
Yeah,
this all ends with "I am the table."
I am the table. That's exactly right. Yep. Exactly right. Okay.
not want to be with a woman who is desperate for attention and seeking external validation, and a woman who doesn't accept herself. Why? It's these women who will seek attention from other guys.
She's describing her old self in this segment. So this is the bit where I said she does pay lip service to women. She's talking about herself. But it's true, like, women who are desperate for attention or attention-seeking types are generally not healthy in relationships. Unfortunately, that seems to be a lot of women. Like maybe the majority of women. I don't know, because social media has shown, I think that it is like, it's probably had more of an impact on women's perception of reality and their behavior than it has men. But this is a conversation nobody wants to have, so.
Who are more likely to cheat, who are more likely to have narcissistic tendencies.
Wait. Who's more likely to have narcissistic tendencies?
Women who are desperate for attention. She's talking about women.
Oh. But what does that have to do with men?
She's basically saying, she was talking about men she was talking about desperation, and she basically made a thing about men, right, and how that's dangerous. And then she said women do this too, and she was talking about herself as an example, and she's just sort of describing what. So when men become desperate, they become,
when she didn't lose weight and wear makeup.
Yeah, okay. That's right. When she was more narcissistic, supposedly.
I mean, maybe I'm just being ridiculous, but I thought she was cute when in her sweater, and I found her, like, she seemed to be a nicer looking person than now.
She's probably she was definitely attractive enough to attract a guy that was above average attractiveness, Allison, but she doesn't want the guy who's above average. She wants the guy at the top. That's the only way to explain this. Like, where she's like, and if you are feeling really insecure, despite the fact that there's nothing to feel insecure about, and then you make a bunch of changes, then I don't know. It's clearly like there's still work to be done.
Clearly.
Yeah. And I think that her changing herself in these physical ways probably also changed her in terms of her ego. And that's why she's, I don't know, less attractive, actually. Because again, the humility isn't there. The humility isn't there. Anyway.
I also think she has a bit of astigmatism. Not astigmatism, sorry, the lazy eye thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, a little bit.
But here's the thing.
But like everybody's got something, though. But well, here's the thing. What? Go ahead.
Well, so she was a narcissist back then. I don't know. This seems really like, it's starting to feel like this is, what did I call what manifesto? Blather. This is blather. This is starting to descend into blather.
Well, I don't think it's gonna I think this is basically like it winds down after here. So I thought I would just play this bit where she talks about herself, but there isn't much else after this. So if you want, we could end this clip and then leave it at that, which is fine by me.
Okay. Does the blather improve, or does it just end up being more blather?
I don't know. All you guys, the women all sound the same to me now. It all sounds like blather.
Even me? Even
well, you're not. Well, yeah, even Lindsay. But she also feels that way. Like, I don't know. I'm getting to the point now where I tune it out without even knowing. I'm just like, oh man, would you?
Yeah, but it's hard not to, because it's just become blather. Like, my whole self and I'm so much surface less narcissistic level because I lost weight and wear makeup now, and I focus much more on my looks.
Yeah, it's also surface level though. It's like
previous self. Oh, she only has 317 subscribers. I'm sure that's going to balloon up into a couple million in a few days.
Well, this is a surprisingly way too sympathetic to men, despite how kind of scoldy it is. So no, she's probably going to remain small. She has to make like a manifesto video about how women of the ancient past. She
wants to peel the skin off of men and nestle herself inside.
Yeah, she wants to wear it. Like
he wants to get his
onesie,
bag.
turn a man's skin into a onesie, and then use it to keep her warm.
Bag.
And then later, cut it up into strips and fry it like bacon.
Something horrific, and just I wouldn't be surprised if Manifestel gets off the camera, and then her face cracks open, and it's like a monster that manga artist would
yeah,
right
like her head
inside.
falls back and has like a mouth right here with like rows of teeth.
Oh man.
Eyes out her eyeballs
actually,
like protrude from her shoulders.
She could be anything with these filters these days. She could be a man.
Oh, I know, that could be a dude for sure. I've seen videos of like dudes like wearing with filters.
Like a deep fake.
I'm thinking that there are a number of filters on this and makeup and the whole bit.
Wouldn't it be really interesting, a twist, if this woman was actually one of the incels playing a woman as a ladyboy? Wouldn't that be a twist that she is herself responding to? Like that'd be
you never know. It's the internet. You can't trust anything you see.
Serious incelception.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I it's starting to get to be blather. Does it recover?
We can.
Does it recover?
No, I mean
blather.
I don't know. Let's listen to the rest of this and then leave it at that.
Of comfort and validation without solving their own problems. They're probably going to be toxic. These are going to be women with trauma. These are going to be women who maybe are raging feminists. I don't know. But these women are not healthy. They're not healthy. You don't want them. If you're a self-respecting guy, stay away. You're not missing.
So yeah, I mean, well, no, it's kind of a cell phone because she says they might be raging feminists, and it says literally at the top, kind of talking about myself. So when she thought she was fat and ugly and wore glasses, she was a raging feminist. So even though she was smiling in the picture, she was probably insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more insufferable than she is now. I don't know.
I think that she'd look fine, honestly, with the sweater picture.
You just change your attitude.
Just change your, like you said, like you were saying from the very beginning, if you didn't like yourself, just change your attitude. If you didn't have a man, just change your attitude towards men. Maybe just appreciate them a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I don't think that I do anything particularly special. I just enjoy the time I spend with men, and and the women in my life too. But it's just, is it that difficult? If you want a dog, just like dogs.
Yep.
I don't know why this is just a mystery to people. Okay, all right.
So, I've had enough.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm saying stop, just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I said what bothers me is the truth. It's not about liking men. I mean, I do like men. I do, but there's other things that annoy me about men. But that shouldn't matter. What should matter is that the truth of this all, like, men don't oppress women. You can't process your emotions while someone is shaming you out of having them. Like, you have a right to feel bad about being rejected and all of this other stuff. It just seems logical to me, and it's really difficult to like an entire group of people. I mean, honestly, then you're basically just liking your projection of them. But the thing is that don't make being a man, if you're a woman and you want to be in a relationship with a man, don't see him being a man as some kind of deficit. That's a horrible place to be in a relationship. And don't see him as the person who's ultimately going to save you from yourself, like Manifestel's weird behavior, which ultimately to me sounds like she wants to skin the guy and wear him. Like, it's disturbing. Mm-hmm. Like, she values herself only insofar as men serve her. So she feels horrible. Men don't shit for her. Men don't breathe for her. Men don't sleep for her. Men can't do these things for me. I must be a horrible person. It's so setting yourself against yourself. All of this spoilt girly crap, all of this dating strategy crap. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm blathering. You're right, Brian. We all blather. Okay.
Well, whatever. It's fine. So we're going to go into the patron show, and we're going to look at, speaking of Manifestel, we're going to look at this video. Wow, this one is really upsetting, but
really right.
It is. You haven't watched it, right? So
no, I haven't.
It's called The Dark Reason Behind Banning Girls from Schools. Did you guys know we were banning women from getting an education? Yeah, it's true, apparently, according to Manifestel. We're going to get into it, and she's probably going to make the case for why we might consider banning women from getting educated. But anyway, no, I'm kidding. Allison, you want to take us out or say your things?
All right. Actually, I do have some thank yous. I want to thank
cool.
Hyper Chicken, because he put that $50. Thank you, Hyper Chicken. It was before the show started.
Literally just maybe 100 or so years ago, 100 and such a few years ago, that women were still viewed as chattel.
Just gotta let him get it out. The way that he says it, he's still around. Matt Binder is still around. He still sounds exactly the same. He still looks the same. Physiognomy check, all that. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Any other thank yous? I'll make this one shorter.
Literally chattel.
Chattel.
Women were still viewed as chattel.
I play it because it's absurd.
Okay. All right. So if you want to support the show, feedthebadger.com/support. If you want to send us a tip and a comment, feedthebadger.com/justthetip. And you can do so after the show is over. We'll read it at the next show that has a similar topic or the same people are on it, that kind of thing. And you can also send requests. We'll take a look. I don't guarantee that if you send a request through Super Chow that we'll do it, because I'm not going to guarantee that, but we will look at it. So feedthebadger.com/justthetip to send us whatever you want. And yeah, back to you, Brian.
All right. So if you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit the bell for notifications, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we discussed on the show today. You'll find a link to the original video in the description of this one. So if you want to watch it yourself, make sure that we're not taking her out of context or anything. And please, please, please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you so much for coming on today's episode of Maintaining Frame / the dating show, I guess. And we'll talk to you guys in the next video.
Men's rights activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.